Courtney, and welcome to the Overthinker Guide. So today we are going to talk about technically day 3 in Puerto Rico, but this is also Embarkation Day on my first Virgin Voyages cruise. So I've been waiting for this day, been researching for this day. For Embarkation Day, you choose your check-in time. I was able to choose my check-in time like months in advance. So the earliest check-in time you can choose is 1:45 p.m. And I think I was able to choose that before the Deep Blue Extras. But when you have Deep Blue Extras, you can get on a little bit earlier. Then if you don't have Deep Blue Extras, I think you can get on at 2 as the earliest check-in time. So anybody with Deep Blue Extras or VIP, which means suites, or if you have Splash of Romance, or any type of add-on package, so it's either Splash of Romance or the Celebration package, you can get on early. Well, as early as 1:45. We chose that time like well in advance. And what I researched, because I know at the Miami port for Virgin Voyages, you can check your bag in early, and like that's their port. It has their signage, their logo, all of that on it. Their terminal, I guess I should say. So I wasn't sure if the same would be said for Puerto Rico, but thankfully I saw a TikTok of someone who also did a Virgin Voyages cruise out of Puerto Rico, and she advised that you can check your bags at like 10 a.m. and still go around and explore the city that you're in, and then come back for check-in. So that way you're not lugging your luggage all around all day. So once me and my mom got up, got dressed, and actually got breakfast this time at the hotel, we checked out, and then we got an Uber to drop our bags off. The Uber driver was a little frustrated, but he had driven us, and I could tell that this was like his first time dropping someone off at the port, because he was like, he wasn't sure what was going on. So we were on the opposite side when we were coming down, and so he looped around so he could drop us off in front of the terminal. But then the police came up to him, and I'm assuming he told him to drop us off on the other side, so we had to go back around. And my mom swore she heard him cussing and saying effing Americans. I don't think that's what he said, because she thinks he was cussing at us. I don't think so. I think he was cussing at the situation of all these people here. I mean, we are lumped into that, but I think that's what he was talking about. So he dropped us off at the corner. He was like trying to explain like, hey, it's going to be a little bit of a walk. And I was like, it wasn't that far of a walk, but it was, when you have a bunch of bags, it's a little far. But, I was like, no, that's okay. Thank you. Gracias. Muchos gracias. And we had to walk down and back across amongst all the traffic. And they have little tents. Virgin Voyages has little tents, and I think they actually do have a tent for the VIP people, and then the tent for us regular folk. So we went up, and I thought there was going to be a line, because the girl's video that I saw, she said that there was a really long line. When we got there, which was like around 10:30, 10:45, there was virtually no line. We walked up, a man walked up to us, asked us for our room number, which you can get from your app. So have that ready, or at least have your room number ready to give to them. Because, another thing with Virgin Voyages, they don't give you a boarding pass or a luggage tag to print out beforehand. So they will give you your luggage tag there, write your room number on it, and then you would give it to the porter. So that's what we did. We tipped our porters, and we tried to figure out what we were going to do next. So because it rained the day before, which made me so sad. I was like, okay, it's really sunny, it's really beautiful today, so I want to at least do one of the things we couldn't do yesterday. And I decided, why don't we just go get some gelato? Like, that's something that we can do really quickly and then come back. So it said 15 minutes, but it felt like 20 to 25 minutes. I had my backpack carry-on, but my mom she had a carry-on too, but it was a roller bag. So she had to lug that around, and I eventually once we got up to like where we had to go upstairs, I grabbed her bag for her so we could just take it up. I could tell she was tired of me. So we walked up to where the gelato is, and it's La Mama del Gelato. I'm gonna probably look that up so I say it correctly. If you look it up on Google, it's gonna say Anita Gelato, and that's essentially what it is. It has a longer name, La Mama del Gelato Anita. So it's in Old San Juan, and when we got there, it was crowded. There was definitely a line. So mom took that opportunity to find herself a table to sit down and rest, and she said I could just order her not ice cream. She said I could order her gelato for her. So I waited in line, and they let you taste test when you get there, so you can know what you're gonna eat before you get it. So I asked her, do you want to taste test the flavors that you said you wanted? Because she said she just wanted vanilla and pineapple, and she said no, and I was like, okay. So I got pineapple in the coquito flavors. I recognized the name, but I didn't know exactly what it was, because the coquito is like a coconut milk based cocktail essentially. So I tasted it and I was like, oh, okay, this is good, this taste is familiar. But I realized it was familiar because I had a pina colada the other day. It was just missing the pineapple. So when I got the pineapple, I was like, oh, I just made myself a pina colada gelato. Anyway, so I got that, and then I got her pineapple and vanilla. She wanted a cone, and I thought there were 3 cone sizes, but there were only 2. So I accidentally got her a medium, which was too big. I should have got her a regular one. And then I got a regular cup, which looks small, but honestly, they scoop a lot of gelato in there. So you only need a regular one. I'll put the price somewhere here, because it was I felt like it was a little bit pricey, but it was good. Now, when I brought my mom hers, she tasted that vanilla and she was like, this is not great. She really liked the pineapple, but she did not like the vanilla. And I tried a little bit of it, and it did have like a weird aftertaste. So I was like, this is what I told you to taste test it. And she was like, I didn't think you could mess up vanilla. So lessons learned there. So we rested for a bit and ate our gelato before heading back to the cruise ship. Or really the cruise terminal. But on our way back, we stopped to take pictures because, again, we didn't get to do this yesterday because it was raining. So we stopped to take pictures, and the Anita Gelato is like not right next, but like a block from the pigeon park. So we did step in there for a second, took some pictures of all the pigeons, and one actually landed on my mom's head. I didn't get a picture of it, unfortunately, because I didn't get my camera out fast enough. But it was just very interesting seeing how they flocked. And you can buy food to feed the pigeons, but we didn't do all that. We just saw it real quick and then kept it moving while we took our pictures. So when we got back, or by the time we got back to the cruise terminal, it was about 12, maybe 12 o'clock, like on the dot. And because we had the deep blue extras, we were able to go in early and just kind of sit down. Now, they had the waiting area in San Juan. It's definitely not picturesque. It felt like I was in a warehouse. They have a setup of a backdrop of sorts that you could take a picture with, but there are no photographers on Virgin Voyages, so there's no one to like take your picture for embarkation day. So when we sat down, they gave us, like, even though the waiting area wasn't that great, they do like offer water, but the water, it was like the box water, and it tasted like a box. The person sitting next to me, I overheard her say that, and at first I thought she was just, being picky or whatever. But when I tasted it, I was like, oh no, she was correct. This tastes like cardboard. So maybe don't drink the box water. But we didn't wait too long. They announced when we could go up and, start the official check-in process. So what they'll do is check your passport, and then they'll give you your C-bands. And because we were all early people, we had different special things, I guess, about us. So because we had deep blue extras, we got a blue band. If you had like Splash of Romance, you got like a tan peachy colored band. If you were VIP or like a rock star or a suite guest, you got a black band. So they had these different color bands plus your C band, which is what you use to get into your room or to pay for anything on board. We got that, went through a brief thing of security, and we were on the ship. Walking on the ship is like how I remembered it. They were playing music, they were dancing with us, they were welcoming us on board. Very different from how I got on the ship at Virgin, where you just kind of stepped on and it was nothing special. And no one has to do the welcome you on the ship, but it just, you're getting your vacation started. It makes you get excited. So I really enjoyed that. When we got on, we went to Sailor Services first because I thought I could go to them to book the, the entertainment, but they told me to go to the Red Room. But at this point, I was a little tired because we've been walking around and my phone was almost dead also. So I was like, okay, I don't want to go to the Red Room. Let me just see if I can do it from the app and we can just go to our room so I can rest for a little bit. So we went through the app, searched through all of our nightly entertainment, and we were able to book because we were connected to the Wi-Fi at this point. We could not connect to the Wi-Fi in the terminal, just so you know. I didn't see it available. So we couldn't book before we got on the ship. Right. So when we went to our room, it looks like how it does in the videos. It was really nice. It was a little bit on the small side, but that's because we didn't get the extra large one. was really nice. We liked the tablet that they had, and we went ahead and watched the safety video. Now, even though we watched it, we couldn't actually get checked off at our mustard station until like 4 o'clock, 4 something. We couldn't get checked in until then, and at this point it's only 2 o'clock, so we had some time. After we had got to our room, watched the video, we met our stateroom attendant, or one of our stateroom attendants, Rezi. She brought my luggage in, and then shortly after brought my mom's luggage with somebody else's neck pillow. I guess it fell off in the transportation. So after we collected ourselves, we went down to the spa area because we wanted to do the thermal spa. I wanted to treat my mom to that for her birthday, so we wanted to take a little tour. So we went around the thermal spa and everything and did that. By the time we were finished up with that, it was kind of close to the mustard drill, or the mustard station check-in, because it's not really a drill. The safety video was your drill. I go up to scan that I've watched the video, and I realized that my wristband is not on my arm. And the guy was like, "Oh, don't tell me you lost it already." And I was like, I think I might have lost it already. I have no idea when it fell off. I went back to the spa and walked around to see if it fell off in there. Didn't see any wristbands there. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't find it. And I had to go to Sailor Services, and at this point the line was way longer than it was when we first got on the ship. And I said, hey, I lost my wristband. And I tried to ask, is there like a better way I can tie it so this doesn't happen again? But he was just like, keep it, wrap it around, keep it tight. And there was no charge, thankfully, to get a replacement wristband, most likely because they know it's somewhere here on the ship, and they know I didn't get off the ship and lose it like that. So there wasn't a charge to get it replaced, which was nice. However, I don't lose it, but it does unwrap a lot throughout the week. Just a heads up. So at this point it's probably like 4:30, close to 5. We have not eaten anything since we got gelato. So we finally went to get something to eat, and we decided to go to the pizza place instead of the galley, which is kind of like the buffet for Virgin. The galley, they do make your food for you. So you don't pick it yourself. They make it for you and hand it to you. But we went to the pizza place instead, which is on deck 7. And I got the pretty fly for a white pie one because I heard, I think it was Life With Us TV talk about it. And I was like, okay, let me try that. Also because I was trying to stay away from tomato sauce for my GERD. That was pretty good pizza. I enjoyed it. And then me and my mom sat at a table where other people were sitting because it was what was opened, and they let us sit with them. So we talked with them briefly, and I think they said this was their second Virgin Voyages cruise, and they really loved the no kids aspect. So that was nice. Met some new people. My mom from Pizza Place, she got the pepperoni pizza. She thought Royal Caribbean's pizza was better. Comparing, like, Royal Caribbean doesn't have any like specialty pizzas besides cheese and pepperoni. So I did like mine better than Royal Caribbean, but Royal Caribbean does have good pizza in my opinion. So after we finished the pizza, we went back to the room because, again, my phone was basically dead at this point. So we went back to the room so I could charge it. And then we went up to deck 15 or 16, one of the outer decks, and got ready for the Sailaway party. I knew we weren't going to be able to stay here long because we had dinner reservations at 6 at Extra Virgin, and the Sailaway party basically started at 6 or 6:30. So I knew we couldn't stay long, unfortunately. But I was able to get the free champagne that you get for the Sailaway party. I got my mom and I champagne, and we drank that, danced for a little bit as they were getting, everybody excited and cheering and everything. Tapped my glass with a couple crew members, and then we went about to our dinner at Extra Virgin. So Extra Virgin is their Italian restaurant where they have handmade fresh pasta, and they also have like a meat that you can add with it. So Mom got a steak and oxtail pasta. That was what I was originally going to get, was the oxtail pasta, but I saw that they had sea bass, and I've never had sea bass before, and I thought this is my chance to try it. So I got that and the Angoli pasta with clams, and I've never had clams before either, but it was actually really good. Like, the pasta was really good. The sea bass was good too, but I would have rather got something else, to be honest. My mom did let me taste a little bit of her oxtail ravioli pasta, and that was really good also, so I'll probably get that next time. Our server was Kim. It's funny because my mom's name is also Kim. Kim was really nice. I enjoyed her. She made sure to take care of my mom as far as her allergies are concerned, because my mom has a lot of allergies. Okay, and so while I really liked the food, I could not finish it all. Like, the portions were huge, and I had asked for a half portion. So when they put my plate down in front of me, I was like, this is half? Because it was so much pasta on top of like the really large sea bass. And then, not to mention, I had calamari as an appetizer and a little bit of the charcuterie board that they had brought as well prior. So I was really full. I ate all the calamari because my mom can't have fish or any type of seafood, so that was all for me. So it was just a very filling dinner. And like, everyone around us, I guess, was also really full because they didn't get dessert. And Kim, our server, mentioned that. She was like, oh, no one's getting dessert. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll get dessert. So I got like a limoncello sorbet, and I only had like 5 bites of it. And then we left. So here is where I was on a time crunch. So they had the first show of the cruise, which was the Misbehave show. So I wanted to catch that, which we made reservations for. But I also wanted to try to get my tattoo appointment in. And I thought, I had enough time between dinner and the show to get it done, but the line was so long and it was moving so slow. We actually met some other Georgians in the line while we were waiting, but then it got to a point where I could not wait anymore. So I left the line and ran to the Misbehave show because I knew I could come back later to make my appointment. I couldn't necessarily, well, I guess I could have caught the Misbehave show later too, but there was no guarantee on that. So we went to the Misbehave show, which was actually a game show type deal. So it was one side of the room against the other side of the room. And we had our host, who was really funny, made some cheeky jokes, and I guess their co-host, the character's name is Keith, I guess. We saw the person playing Keith a couple days later, and I'll post the picture here. I didn't catch their actual name because it was on their name tag, but I didn't take a look at it, and then in the picture it's covered up. But I don't think their name is Keith, actually. But that was a really fun game. The way the points were distributed was crazy. I think our side won, if I'm not mistaken, but it was a really fun game. If you don't like cheeky jokes, maybe you shouldn't attend, but it's really fun. Nobody is like made fun of, no, because it's kind of cheeky and a little bit derogatory, but not against anyone personally. But yeah, it was a good time. That for it to be the first show of the night, that was really good. Or first show of the cruise, that was a really good show for me. Now, after the game show, I did go ahead and go back to the tattoo parlor to make my tattoo appointment, which there was hardly a line at that point, and I was like, this is what I should have did earlier. So with the tattoo, originally, and I think this is for Scarlet Lady, they were saying that it was $180 at minimum, and then it could be $250 for like a custom. So here on Valiant Lady, it was $200 minimum for the tattoo, and it would be one of the pre-designed Virgin Voyages tattoo. Anything other than that would start at $250. So I said, okay, like in my head, I already knew I was going to probably get a custom one. So I had $250 already as my price for the tattoo. Already budgeted out for that. So I told him what I wanted, and, I didn't have my phone was again charging in the room, so I didn't have my phone with me to show him exactly. So he looked it up on his phone, and I made the appointment. He said it was going to be $250. Now, I ended up changing the design just a little bit later, like later in the week, and I let him know because I made my appointment for like the last day. But because of the small change I made, it went up to $300. So just be aware, it's going to be between $250 and $300 depending on how big your tattoo is. Just for reference, this is the tattoo. So I originally said no lines, and that's what made it $250, but because I added the lines, it was $300. So you would think the night is over now, right? We had our nightly entertainment. I was able to make my tattoo appointment, but no, it is not over. So at this point, it was like maybe 9:30, and I was gonna try to do the 10 p.m. cookies that I kept seeing on social media, but by the time I got up there were no cookies, because it was like I got up there like at 10:05 and all the cookies were gone. But then I went back down to get ready for the pajama party, which started at 11 o'clock. So me and my mom were really tired. It had been a busy day, as you can tell by how long this video is. It's been a long day. So we rested for a little bit and actually was fashionably late to the pajama party. One thing that I realized about Virgin Voyages, as far as like how the ship is made, I cannot hear anything. Even when I'm on an outer deck, I cannot hear anything happening on the other side of a deck, like at all. Because we got up there and we started walking, but it was completely silent. And I was like, "Where's the party?" And I was like, maybe they moved it to like the manor, because if it's like cold or raining, they move it inside. But I was like, I don't think so. It's not cold or rainy or anything like that. So we finally walked to the other side of the ship, like to the back. It was the back, yeah, to the back, and that's where the party was. And I could definitely hear the music blaring at this point, but I'm like, the fact that this music is so loud and I could not hear anything that in the middle of the ship, that's so interesting. So yeah, we got there. By the time we got there, they had woken up the hostess, which was actually one of the rules, not to wake up the hostess. They had a pajama contest, who had the best pajamas, and that was interesting. The hostess is technically the cruise director, but they don't have a cruise director. They have the hostess and then the happenings cast. So she sang us a song. Lead you home tonight. Sweet dreams of rhythm and dancing. Sweet dreams of passion through the night. Sweet dreams of taking over. Sweet dreams of dancing through the night. And then we got cookies. So they offer milk and cookies for the pajama party. Obviously didn't get any milk, but they passed out these cookies. So I was like, oh, okay, let me get a cookie, since I couldn't get one from the galley. They had peanut butter cookies, and they were so good. Like, I only got one. I actually got like one of the last ones. So I was so glad I got a cookie. It was really good. So that made me hype for maybe trying to get a galley cookie later in the week. So we'll get into that later. We stayed for a few more songs after the cookies, and I went up to see the track and saw, people partying from the track area. That's when the music got that's when they started playing songs I actually recognized and wanted to dance to, but it's okay. But we stayed for a few more songs, but then we decided to go back to the room. But yeah, that was the end of our night. Besides me losing my wristband, which was my own fault, this was the smoothest embarkation day I've had since buying my own cruises and planning my own cruises. And granted, again, I've only been on Royal Caribbean and Virgin Voyages, so I don't know. Royal Caribbean need to take notes. I don't know. So far, so good for Virgin Voyages. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed day one. So next video is going to be day 2, which we're at sea on our way to our next destination. So if you liked this video, please leave a like down below and subscribe if you want to see that next video, and leave a comment on how, if you've been on a Virgin Voyages cruise, how your embarkation day went. Are you excited to go on your next Virgin Voyages cruise? If you haven't gone on one yet, please let me know. But until the next video, I will see you later, Overthinkers.